Hey, I'm Steve Jackson, Director of Maintenance Construction here at Carowinds. Well, during the off season this year at Carowinds, we are retracking the Hurler. We are actually taking down one of the curves completely to the foundations, and we will be rebuilding it from the bottom to the top. The way that we take that track down is really with a chainsaw. We don't really unbolt a whole lot. You really just use the saw to cut it up. It's a lot faster that way. And then once you get all the wood out and get it cleared off, then you can actually start rebuilding the structure for the track. You have to build the structure first, and then once the structure's up and verified, then we actually start putting the 9 layers of boards on there that the track still gets mounted to. Once the structure is all put back up and verified, then we actually start the process of putting the track down. It's a 9-layer track. The track actually overlaps each other, so the joints actually overlap, so you never have a contiguous joint that goes all the way to the bottom. There's always an overlap there, and it helps with the structure and the security and the strength of that stack. Once you get those 7 layers, the first 7 layers down, then the next 2 layers are called the lip layer, and it will overhang the original 7 a little bit. That gives you your upstop for your train, so the train doesn't lift off the track. Once that's done, then the track steel goes down. There's a 16-inch bolt that goes in the track steel itself. I have one right here. And it's interesting because, you know, it's a straight bolt. You know, there's no head on it. We can't use a Phillips or a flat blade or an Allen wrench or anything like that. So this gets pounded into the hole that you drill, but then what you do is you bend it this way, you pound it in, it straightens out, then you bend it that way, and you straighten it out. And what that does is it secures and creates tension inside that hole so this won't spin. And then you put the washer and the nut on the bottom and tighten it all up, and that's actually what holds track steel down. The final steps that we have to go through, we have to verify that everything is in the right place. So we go through and we've got gauges and measuring tapes, and what we do is we make sure that all the wood and the track steel is in exactly the right place based off the dimensions of the trains. The track has to match the train wheels on the roller coaster, right? That's, you know, they have to match. So what we do is we go through and we verify all those dimensions are correct, and then once we verify that, that's when we actually run our first trains. So all this track work is necessary because it's like the maintenance on your car, right? Eventually you have to change your tires. If you have something that's 20 years old, you might be changing the tie rods, you might put a new engine in it, or something like that. So this is a wooden structure, so wood deteriorates over time. It's all outside, you know, it's all under stress, vibration, wind, rain, sun. You've got all those factors on it. So eventually, you know, it's time to replace it. We've actually got measurement tools. It's called an accelerometer. We do accelerometer testing on all of our coasters, and especially the wooden coasters because they're more susceptible to the changes in weather versus a steel coaster. So when the accelerometer readings get to a certain point, or we have to do more repairs to a ride, you know, the first year we may not have to do a whole lot, but then as it progresses, you know, if we're having to go back to the same place every week and tighten bolts, or we start having to replace a lot of wood, then that's when it's time, okay, is it time to take the structure down and just rebuild it from the bottom? The other advantage is when you rebuild something like this, you can actually tweak and tune it to take out any of those places that the accelerometer says, hey, you've got some high forces, or you've got a big impact somewhere. And we've done that on other places on this coaster as we've done rebuild work. So of course we took the opportunity to smooth this ride out and re-angle that curve a little bit. So it should be a little bit smoother and a lot more exciting.